Hey guys, in this video I wanted to share a quick tip for those of you who are using Zoom or Skype or any online equivalent in your lessons, and that is that you should consider using headphones in your lessons. This is a very helpful tip. The benefits of using these in your lessons cannot be overstated. It is probably one of the most valuable pieces of hardware you can buy if you're not already using headphones, and I'll get into why in just a second. But first I want to mention that these are the headphones I started with. These are the Sennheiser H598, I think. I don't know. I'll post some equivalent of these in the description so that you can see what they are. But basically, these are open back headphones of, I would say, average quality. And they are not too expensive, especially considering what I just said about them being one of the best upgrades that you can buy for yourself. Or if you're a student, I think the same thing applies. This allows you to hear a lot more detail, even if you have awesome speakers. And I have really good speakers. I can talk about those at another time. But there is no substitute for having the source of the sound right in your ear, where there's nothing that can get in the way of the sound. You're going to hear more detail, even if it's like static, Zoom, whatever, low quality stuff. You're still going to hear more detail. It's just going to be like lower resolution. It doesn't mean that the detail is just not there. You're going to hear a difference between using headphones and using speakers. And this is especially doubly, 10 times true, whatever, if you are using like laptop speakers or whatever. You're not going to be able to hear the kinds of things that you should hear when you need to evaluate something very carefully. And I know that some of you might say, oops, sorry, I didn't silence my phone. But I know that some of you guys might say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because the quality is really low. Well, first of all, it is not really low depending on the platform that you use. Like Zoom's audio is absolutely fantastic if you set it up right and you have the internet connection to support it. But then there's also a couple of like little quality of life things. So I'm going to admit that I don't always use headphones. I use them as little as I have to, but I have to sometimes. If a student's working really hard on a piece and we've just finished talking and I need to hear this piece, it's pretty common right in the middle of the piece for me to put my headphones on and when I feel like I need to hear more detail. Sometimes I need to hear more detail, and so I'll just put the headphones on. And by the way, that's one of the reasons I upgraded to these. And before you guys kill me, because I'm using these for online lessons, if you know what these are the AirPods Pro Max, and they're stupid expensive. I know, but I wanted them, and I'm a tech nerd. And I like using them for all kinds of things in addition to this. But this is just a nice convenience because if I need to hear something, I just put them on. And it flips the sound over and I can hear what I need to hear. And it's wireless and I can move around the piano, and that's really nice. Most people do not need that. So, that's the end of that. Most people need this. Open back headphones. So open back headphones allow you to hear what's in the room. So the speakers are suspended in this little grill here, and the drivers, if you will. And so this is open to the sound in the room. So it doesn't seal off your ears and you don't get like sweaty or fatigued or whatever. They're super comfortable. And also, if you look into this, this design of headphones, open back compared to closed back headphones, which are the kind that do seal off your ears, which is actually this kind, by the way. These are actually, they generally will have a better sound quality and have a better like stage presence. That doesn't really matter in Skype unless you're using stereo. Another video, but it still helps to be using open back headphones because if you're teaching online, you are probably sitting here for a while. And so that's where it's really nice to have a more comfortable set of headphones. Now these make up for the fact that they're closed by having all of these like little microphones and stuff to like pass the sound into your ear. And also they're very comfortable anyway. And they have like little venting, noise cancellation, all kinds of crazy features. So these have the technology to make up for the fact that they are not open back. I still wish they were open back. I would like them even more, but still, these don't have the same issues that other closed back headphones have. So I strongly recommend that you get a set of open back headphones. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you get like a set of headphones that have the mic on them, like a gaming headset or something like that, I don't recommend that. So first of all, you're unlikely to get a set of open back headphones that have a mic on them. Open back headphones are for listening. And the mic, especially if you're using it as your mic, that's not the right kind of mic that you should be using for your lessons. That mic is going to increase the presence of your voice substantially, and it's going to reject the sound of your instrument substantially. So really, you should not be using like a gaming headset in your online lessons. You should be using a regular mic or your laptop's mic even, and you should be using something like open back headphones. And so it could be as simple as leaving something like this attached to the cord by your desk, and hopefully you have a headphone jack or something on your computer, and when you need to hear more, you just plug it in and switch out. Excuse me. So that is just a simple convenience that can allow you to hear way more in your lesson. Okay, so aside from hearing more, there's another benefit to running a headphone-based setup, especially if you are willing to like always run it, and that is in some audio platforms like Zoom, for example, but I know there's like Rock Out Loud and there's some other things that kind of eliminate some of the echo cancellation thing, right? It's basically like calling platforms and talking on the phone or whatever. You can't talk if you hear yourself like a second after. You just can't. So the client produces this like anti-noise or whatever that rejects the sound of what you're saying on the other end so that you cannot hear yourself. And so the way that it does that, or the effect of that, is there's just this little bit of silence that happens right when you start talking and right when you're done talking. I know Rock Out Loud and some of the other like the Jitsi-based clients or whatever, they can solve for this, but in Zoom you can actually just turn the feature off completely and not have the echo cancellation, which means that if you talk, you will totally hear yourself. So that's just something to be aware of. You cannot enable that feature, or really disable that feature. You can't disable that feature unless you are wearing headphones and your student is wearing headphones too. So whoever disables echo cancellation, that person has to be wearing headphones. So just something to keep in mind. But if you do disable echo cancellation and you always wear headphones, then you will notice that you are able to pick up the conversation sooner after your student's done talking, and they are able to respond to you sooner. And generally you can interrupt each other a little better. It's just it's a more natural experience. Now I will admit that I usually keep my echo cancellation enabled because I use Zoom and because I like to just flip over to these, and I teach a lot, so I don't necessarily want to be wearing my headphones like all the time, but I want to be able to just flip over and have that experience. And disabling echo cancellation would make that a little bit more cumbersome. But if there is a situation where I can tell that the echo cancellation is getting in the way of a natural flow of conversation, or just getting in the way, I can sense it. If I can sense it, I'll put my headphones on, I'll go into the options real quick, and I will disable it. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know about that, because if you are not using headphones, you don't even have the option to disable echo cancellation and experience what that's like. So anyway, I hope that you guys find this helpful. If you have money and you like gadgets and things like that, this is pretty convenient, I'm not going to lie. When I first got them, I was like, I'm probably going to return these because this is overkill. But like many people say, I ended up just sort of falling in love with these, and I use them a lot for things where I am evaluating music or listening to music or listening to my students or whatever. A lot of my students have really nice setups. It's really, really nice to have something like this. But otherwise, something like this would totally suffice. Any open back headphone is going to suffice. But I recommend something like the HD598. I think it's the Sennheiser like mid-range brand, or I think there's like the 559s. I don't remember. I'll have to go and look after this video. But there is a lesser, like lower quality version of that that's still very, very nice. It comes with a pretty short cable, so be on the lookout for that. This comes with two cables, a pretty long cable and a short one, and you'll need to use the long one, obviously. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to like maneuver at the piano. So anyway, I hope you guys find that helpful. I'll link to the relevant items in the description, and consider wearing headphones in your lessons for an improved experience. I will see you in the next video. Bye.